50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in everyone to a brand new edition of the Dream Wage, episode 345. Today is December the 13th, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock, and joining me, our NBA guru, my partner in crime, Elvis Acosti. How you doing today, kid?
Dill, I'm doing great. It's the 13th, no Friday, so we feeling good, Dill. Spectacular. I don't like the fact they were both at the same exact time, Dill, but turned out both great games, Dill. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we had really good games Monday night. Even Sunday Night Football was really good between the Cowboys and the Eagles. We'll get into that shortly. We got NFL Power Rankings as well. Not too much to change on my side. Can't wait to see yours. Ugly Thursday night matchup between a bunch of backups on the Chargers and the Raiders out there in Las Vegas. We'll preview that and have plays, and then we'll end the show on the hardwood with some NBA plays from Elvis. But before we get into the doubleheader Monday night, I do want to briefly talk about Sunday night real quick. We didn't get to
Cowboys.
They take care of business at home, 33-13. Man, Dak Prescott. He's on his MVP tour, man. What a fucking game he had. 24 for 39, 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked 3 times, and he was just carving up that defense, man. They scored literally in every quarter, and they jumped out to that big lead. They had that nice touchdown early to CeeDee Lamb. Michael Gallup, he had a touchdown, that catch in the fourth quarter on the sideline. What a fucking ball. What a catch by Michael Gallup as well. Rico Dwell, he had a touchdown too as well. He got in on the fun, but just overall a really impressive performance by the Cowboys. 7-0 now at home.
Dill, like you said, Dill, I think this was a great overall team when defense held the Eagles to 13 points in Dallas. Impressive. Get a couple turnovers. Dak looking like an MVP. Like you said, Dill, Tony Pollard, Dowd, they did it by committee, 138 rushing yards as a team. That will get the job done. And then you had CeeDee Lamb, still had he didn't have a monster game, but he was felt. 6 catches for 71 and a TD. Jake Ferguson, Dill, this tight end is getting better and better week in and week out, Dill. He's looking like it looks like Dak really, trusts and relies on him like he did Dalton Schultz, like he did with Jason Witten. So it's glad that he's relying on the tight end. He's a young kid, Dill. And then like you said, Michael Gallup. If Michael Gallup starts showing up week in, week out, this is a whole different, and not just different, better offense when he's being that guy. We saw Michael Gallup before he got injured with the ACL. He was electric, Dill. He can make some deep balls. If anything, CD was in the side, he was the outside. So it just adds to this offense, and it's exciting to see, Dill. The fact that they were able to beat the Philadelphia Eagles by 20, that's domination, Dill. That's championship worthy game right there. So just give credit to Dallas. And like you said, Dill, last show, we got to start giving credit to Mike McCarthy, because this is definitely a way better team, especially on the offensive side of the ball, than we saw last season. And this basically the same exact team, just Stephon Gilmore added on the other side and Brandon Cooks. That's really it.
I love the shit talking Stephon Gilmore said to AJ Brown. He said, "Hey man, you're getting old out there." Love the shit talking between the two. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Dallas. I know we're pretty hard, or at least specifically I am, on them, because they are always very talented. But I will say, I said to you off air, this is probably the most talented and overall most complete Cowboy team I've ever seen in my lifetime. So I hopefully that they all, and this continues, because I did pick them in the preseason to make it to the Super Bowl against the Browns. But I let's go to the other side with the Philadelphia Eagles, because a lot of people are, they're mad at the offense. They weren't able to run the ball with anyone. Didn't matter if Hurts ran it, DeAndre Swift, Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott. It didn't really matter who they ran it with. I don't think it was the offense. I will say on the offense, before I go to the defense, I think they miss Shane Steichen, the Colts head coach, their OC from last year. I think their offense has gone down a little bit. But I will say they were moving the ball. They were moving the ball in every quarter. It's just the fumble after fumble after fumble. Is it more on the offense not being able to hold the ball, or do we got to credit that defense?
I think it's 50-50 deal, because it's not like we've seen this Eagles team, have a fumbling issue all season. But one thing we've seen is Dallas, they led the league in turnovers last season. They're top 3 this season in turnovers. So, still, they're making it happen on the defensive side of the ball. That's one thing we could show from, drawing a blank, the DC. Damn, forgot his name already. That's crazy. But I love Dallas DC. Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn is a hell of a coach still. So, that defense is going to get a ton of turnovers. DeVar Bland got 5 pick sixes still. So this defense has been doing it all season long. So honestly, I'm going to give 60% to the defense, 40 to 50. Because I'm going to be honest, Phillies, they were down. They got behind. I just felt like they were just trying to make a few extra, get a few extra yards from a play, trying to make something, just a first down, a bigger play than what it was. And that's how they, turn the ball over. They're like A.J. Brown, that – you honestly think A.J. Brown's going to have a couple more fumbles throughout the season? I do not.
Yeah, so if you look at the box score, you wouldn't think that the Eagles lost by 20. 4 for 9 on third down, but total yards 324 to 394. So it was right there. They both had 9 total drives. They actually averaged more yards per play than the Cowboys, 6.2 to 5.3. But like you said, I think you got to credit the defense, and Eagles, I think defensively, they're struggling right now. 2 in a row now to the 49ers and the Cowboys. And it's not just that they're losing. They're getting blown out by the cream of the crop. And it continues now. Now they stay on the road and take on Seattle this week. And Seattle's desperate for a win. That's a team I really don't want to play right now, who's desperate, fighting for a win. 2 weeks ago, that Philly was the number 1 seed. Now it's the 49ers. Dallas is 10-3. They're in they have the tiebreaker right now. They're in first place. So we'll see. I mean, defensively, what do you think has to change for this Eagle team?
So I think it's a few things. It's definitely a gap, in the middle. That's why they signed Shaquille Leonard. Honestly, this is just his first week back, so he wasn't really implemented in the defense still. But it's a reason why they made that signing. It's a reason why they signed Kevin Bard from Tennessee. They made that trade, like 7 weeks ago before the trade deadline. They seen this, happening. So they clearly know they have an issue. That's why they tried to address them, Dill. But clearly those additions is still not, addressing the issue. So maybe they got to do a little better, coverage-wise, put a little more pressure, Dill. Because the front, with Sweat, Jalen Carter, and other guys, Fletcher Cox, they're going to get the pressure. It's just the back end, Dill. They got to figure out something with that secondary. And they just got to figure it out soon. This still tied. In the division, there are second place, but, a game or two here, there, they can still win the division. They definitely need to clean this up before playoff time. Because like you said, losing by 20 plus points to the king of the crop is not a good look. No. maybe that look work with the, in the first round wild card, but come divisional NFC championship game, you know what time it is.
Yeah, they definitely have to clean things up. A huge win for the Cowboys at home. They improved to 10-3. Let's go to Monday night real quick. We'll start with the game I really wasn't able to see because I was at the Giant game, but saw the highlights of what I could see. Elvis, how the hell did Tennessee come back 28-27? It was about, I don't know, I was walking out of the game and they were down 14 or 13 with about 2 minutes left, and I get an update that Tennessee win. What happened?
Still, I can't even tell you. It's just surprising. Miami scored with about, I think, like 4:46 left, something like that. Go up 2 tutties. Still, Will Levis is that dude. I'm going to just come out and say, I think he had 138 passing yards in the fourth quarter, 2 tutties. Still, Will Levis is just that guy. Give credit to the defense, stopping them with that late possession. But at the end of the day, Will Levis, I like what I see from the kid moving forward. He made a couple big throws to D-Hop. D-Hop had himself a day. And the fact that this is why I say Will Levis is that guy. Because look at the rushing from the team, Dill. You got 34, 17 attempts, 34 from Derek Henry, who I took the over, by the way, but that's not the here or there. Only 83 as a team. He got 15 of them, Dill. And by the way, I don't know if you saw the highlight, but he lowered the shoulder on Jalen Ramsey now.
You ran him over.
I just like the fight. I like the kid. I'm going to be honest, pre-draft, look at the episodes, hear the episodes, because I wasn't a fan. Now, I'm starting to like the kid, though. And then with Miami, they just simply blew it. They just simply blew it.
Yeah.
Defensively, they just got to be better. So they blew it. And then, with Tyreek going down, just to cover it real quick, though, this offense wasn't the same.
I was going to ask you real quick if I could jump in. I saw, because he is on my fantasy, I saw during the game, I got an update that it was an ankle injury. He sat out for a quarter. He wound up coming back. Was that the reason this offense kind of stalled out?
Still, it stalled out. This team, they got a pick 6 in the first quarter. This team had 3 offensive points midway the third quarter, though. Give credit to Mike McDaniels for finally establishing the running game, knowing that, Tua didn't.
He didn't look good.
I'm not going to say he knew. He just knew, all right, Tyreek not my first option, Jalen's my second. Now Jalen's his first. If Jalen's not wide open, he's like, oh shit, what to do? So we saw a couple moments where he was deer in headlights. He took a couple bad sacks. He got the strip 6 and strips early in the game. So still, I'm not gonna overreact because at the end of the day, it was still accurate, but the offense overall just stalled. Maybe he caught Mike Daniels a little off guard. Maybe he just needed to adjust. But when the rubber needed to meet the road, they ended up putting points. Fourth quarter with Mostert running the ball well. He had 2 tutties still. So they finally got established the run deal for about 2 quarters. Still, it was a stalemate. The defense got the 7 and they kicked the field goal. Offensively, they didn't get no points.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some highlights right now, and you could see the fire and the passion from not even just Mike Vrabel, Will Levis, fucking veins coming out of the arm. He has grit. He plays fucking hard every play, and that's what you want. And I think the boys, I know they're maybe not fighting for anything this season, but next season,
future looking bright now.
Yeah,
future looking bright.
And this is impressive. I mean, from the stats, I didn't watch the game, but from looking at the numbers, it looked like Will Levis outplayed outside of that 1 pick 6. It looked like Will Levis outplayed Tua. Is that fair to say?
Still, he did, especially in the fourth quarter. Dill, the numbers alone speak. He had 130 in the fourth quarter. I think he just had 1 incompletion in the fourth quarter. Dill, he single-handedly willed this team to victory in a matter of about 4 minutes.
And 2 of 5 sacks, so the line didn't.
One was a strip at the goal line.
Wow,
And
Will Levis was only sacked once off of 7 pressures. I mean, they held up, and like you said, they weren't really able to run the ball well with Derrick Henry. He did have those 2 touchdowns. D-Hop, what a game he had, 7 catches, 124 yards and a touchdown. But huge win for fucking Will Levis, man. I'm happy for the kid because, a lot of people, he fell draft night. He actually fell to the second day.
Didn't even show up to get drafted. He just stood home with the family. Like, that took a toll on the kid. And I personally, I felt the guy probably would have done the same thing too. Yeah. But it just sucks. And Dill, I'm gonna be honest, maybe some teams out there are like, damn, I need me some of that.
First win on the road for the Titans this season. Are we taking too much away, or are we not really worrying about this loss for the Dolphins?
At the end of the day, if you tell me Tyreek Hill's going to be healthy moving forward, I'm not worried about it. But if you're telling me Tyreek is going to be out for a significant amount of time, like 3 weeks, yeah, I'm going to be a little worried, Dill. But if you're telling me he's going to be out there Sunday, Saturday, whenever they play, I ain't worried about it.
And then the second game, what a game this was at MetLife, man. Weird, I will say, first time ever being at a Giant game. They get the win. Usually when I'm at a game at the Meadowlands, it's usually lit up green and everything. But first time at a Giant game made me want to root for him. I'm not going to lie. I mean, Tommy DeVito, the place wasn't as packed as I thought it would be. It was kind of cold on Monday night, but the people that were there, shout out all my American Italians out there, man. Everyone had Italian flags on. Everyone had the fedora hats. Everyone was throwing it up. It it was electric. I'm not going to lie. And the one thing I really liked from Tommy DeVito was he didn't get sacked. Every time he got pressure, he escaped. He ran right up the middle. The kid has some legs. He's not the fastest, but he can pick up a first down if needed to. He had 10 carries for 71 yards. He was averaging 7 yards a clip. So, I mean, Tommy DeVito, he's won 3 straight. You can't take the ball out of his hands right now. They're 5-8. They just beat a Packer team that was on the borderline of being a playoff team. And we talked about it for the past, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks to a month of Jordan Love coming up and being that quarterback. Tommy DeVito outplayed him. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. He outplayed him, only 4 completions. It was an amazing game, and I was really happy for the Giants, and just so the Jets have a better pick. But yeah, 24-22, the Giants take care of business at home. What are your thoughts?
Dill, I real quick on the Packers side, Dill, with Jordan Love, Dill, I understand. Yeah, he had a couple bad throws, Dill, but he was still in position to win this game, even with a bad interception, a fumble as well, Dill. He still put his team in position to win, so you got to give him credit there. Still Monday night stage. We know how good this Giants defense has been this season at times, So at the end of the day, Dill, I'm not going to bash Jordan Love. I think he played a good game. Just he could have played a little better, honestly, Dill. And then I just feel with the weapons he got on the outside, Dill, he definitely missed Christian Watson and Aaron Jones yesterday. If he had those weapons, maybe a different story, Dill. And let's move to the Giants, Dill. What Tommy DeVito was doing as a New Jerseyan, I'm not a Giants fan, people. I'm a Patriots fan. So you can see how I feel about the Giants. But what we're experiencing right now is just flat out special. Tommy DeVito winning 3 straight games. He got the family 50 deep showing up to the game. You got the agent. The agent went viral, And Dill, one thing that I got to respect is Brian Daboll and this team just rally around Tommy DeVito, kid, and just winning these games. This team was 2-8 3 weeks ago. Now they're 5-8, and like Dylan's favorite 3 words, in the hunt. The Giants are live to make the playoffs. I highly doubt they do. But if there's anybody else in the league that could win 3 more games, it's Tommy fucking Cutlets. I'm going to be real with you, Dill. So, Dill, what Tommy DeVito's doing is, what he's doing is great. Like you said, only 4 incompletions. He's not going to light you up with the numbers, people. He's not that guy. But what he is going to do is, he's probably going to try to win you the game. Yeah. And Dill, he did it with his arm. He did it with his leg, especially in that last drive, hitting Robinson with that nice throw to the right sideline, and then with the legs as well, Dill. Give Saquon Barkley credit. Ran the ball great. 2 tutties by him. Dill, that, like you said, that crowd was electric for the amount of people that was
there. They should have won 27-22, if I'm being honest. They missed a field goal early in the game. But Saquon, he got going late. In the beginning, they kind of held him in check, but you can only hold a guy like Saquon in check for a certain amount until he gets going. But yeah, I agree. They miss Aaron Jones. They miss Christian Watson. And I don't know. I thought Jordan Love, he was just very inaccurate. I thought he rushed a lot of his throws as well. He wasn't accurate. Was good. Yeah, the defense was good. They got 2 sacks on him. And yeah, that might not be a lot, but they were crucial. Late in the game, they got him. They got him late when the Packers missed the field goal. The rookie out of Auburn, they pushed him back. And, Wan'Dale Robinson, and yeah, Tommy DeVito might not make all the big throws or kill it with the arm, but man, he dropped a fucking dime to Wan'Dale Robinson to win on the game-winning drive. And it was funny. We were right next to some Packer fans, and when they took the lead 22-21, they were all saying with a minute left, a minute and some change, they were hugging each other. They go, "We did it. We won." And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you stupid motherfucker. You've never seen a football game, have you? And then here comes Tommy DeVito, and he just wins you the game. And you could tell, I mean, I'm not in the locker room, but actions speak louder than words. The boys were rallying around this kid, and I think he's earned not just the starter for the remainder of the year, but I also think he's earned a backup job or at least a contract for next year.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Heading into next training camp, spring camp, it's going to be a bad one. Personally, I gotta see Daniel Jones win the position. I'm not just gonna hand him the keys like, yeah, you're the franchise quarterback. Nah, you're gonna have to beat
No.
out Tommy DeVito. Because right now, unless the kid falls in his face and have a Joshua Dobbs performance like, a
No.
couple games in a row, something like that, deal. I need a QB battle come spring in June, July.
Yeah, because you just can't. Daniel Jones, he gets hurt too much. Tyrod Taylor, he gets hurt too much. These are very injury-prone guys, and knock on wood, for the time being, Tommy DeVito has held in there.
And not for nothing, though, you could run the same offense with those two guys. They're very similar. Maybe he doesn't have the arm strength Daniel Jones got, but they both are mobile. Both can make throws. Daniel Jones, he ain't the best, best, most accurate fellow out there. So I think they could run the same offense with those two guys.
What are your thoughts on the agent? I mean, he just
legend.
He's a legend.
Put this still. He knows the guy who knows the guy who took the +5.5 and DeVito over rushing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
I saw that meme. They go, when you know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who plays football. I was dead, but yeah, no, he's a legend.
He's a legend.
Apparently, he came out and said he owns like 20 custom suits that he was wearing. So he's a legend.
Hopefully, we're big enough one day to hit his line. He'll be all right to represent us.
So overall, bad week 14 for the boy. First losing week in 3 weeks for me. I go 5-9, so down 3 units. Got to chuck it up. I mean, Ravens first half, they fucked me. The Pittsburgh Steelers last Thursday under 17.5. They score 18. That was a dagger. Justin Fields rushing yards, all the kneel downs, dagger. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, just a dagger. So not a good week overall. 5-9 for the kid. How did you do? Hopefully better than me.
Dill, by a smidge. 4-8-1.
Oh.
Worst week in about 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks still. But you know what it is? It is what it is. After you go back-to-back weeks hitting them over the head, Dill, you got to get humbled every now and then, Dill. A couple bad beats of the week. I'm gonna say off the rip, Detroit just got embarrassed against Chicago. Yeah. I took Detroit -3. Oh, what else? Houston got destroyed by the Jets. It was just Kansas City got robbed. Chris Olave went by 40 yards. Like, come on. Like, you can't predict this, people. And then on Monday night, Derrick Henry had 17 attempts, 34 yards. You got to give credit to Miami's defense on that. And then Saquon, it looked like he was going over. He had 15, basically a half, and he just stood there. So it is what it is, people. I missed that by 3.5 yards. It's a bad beat, but guess what? We'll be back next week, and we're gonna be better than, I don't know about ever, but we're gonna be better.
Like your Coach Bill says, we're on to week 15 right now.
We're on to Kansas City.
Exactly. Let's go to our power rankings. I'm very interested to see the order of what you have. I'll start with me. I'm going to go number 1. I don't think there's any surprise here. I've been saying it. They are the most complete team defensively, offensively, ever since the bye, ever since they got healthy. This is the best team in football. Give me the San Francisco 49ers. I know they didn't cover the big double-digit 15, but it doesn't really matter. Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, Brock Purdy, it continues to light it up as well. I got to take the 49ers at number 1. They're the best team right now.
Dale, give me the 49ers at number 1. I'm not going to add too much on what you spoke on, Dale. I just agree with everything you said. Anyway, like you said, when this team is healthy, Kyle Shanahan calling the plays, Brock Purdy dicing them up, Christian McCaffrey running the ball, Deebo Samuel being a dual threat that he is. This team is flat out one of the most dominant teams in the NFL. Give me the 49ers at 1.
At number 2, I got a new number 2. How about them Cowboys? Moving them all the way up to number 2. I mean, I don't want to be an apologist because I stand on my word, but I got to give credit where it's due. The Cowboys are legit. I was saying it. They're the best. This is the best Cowboy team I've ever seen. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. Was it a stretch at the time? Yes. I don't think it's much of a stretch at this point. Dak is playing out of his mind. The defense is getting some turnovers. I like this team. And if Gallup and Jake Ferguson can continue to be that nice number 2 and 3 punch alongside CeeDee Lamb, this team is going to be hard to beat, man. Give me the Cowboys at number 2.
Dill, I'm not gonna disagree with you, but give me the Baltimore Ravens at number 2, Dill. Lamar Jackson and company, Dill. If you tell me Lamar, Odell, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers are going to show up like that week in, week out with the running game that we know they're capable. I understand the defense didn't really show up and didn't have a great performance still, but me and you both know what that defense is capable of doing. That's a top 3 defense, not top 2 in scoring defense. People understand, Matthew Stafford. Hey, Matthew Stafford is he can sling it. So not surprised by that Matthew Stafford was able to put up some points still, but I'm not too worried about that defense. And Odell's emerging, Dill. Isaiah Likely, I understand he ain't Mark Andrews, but Isaiah Likely's pretty good. Zay Flowers looking pretty good, Dill. This offense in that passing game, if it just stays like that or gets even better, I think the Ravens go all the way.
Yeah, I got the Ravens flock at number 3. They're the best team in the AFC right now. I mean, I don't think it's question. I know they play the Dolphins in a few weeks. I think it's on Christmas Day, actually.
They play the 49ers.
49ers, that's a game. That's who they play. But they do play the Dolphins coming up, and we'll see. But I had to keep them at 3 just because it wasn't as dominant as a game as I think I'd hope. They worry me offensively. Defensively, was surprising that they allowed 31 points to the Rams, especially at home. The bank is a very tough place to play. I'm not too concerned about them. When Lamar is playing at his level, they're a very hard team to beat. He made some questionable throws last week, but honestly, I would worry more about the defense right now. Kyle Hamilton, the safety, he goes down. He's week to week. Thankfully, he's not done for the season. So, got some injuries on the second half, but you're right, man. Odell has emerged these past few weeks. I love the quote he came out. They said, yeah, I fucked up. I ran the wrong route, but I got a touchdown.
Still caught it. And that was a great catch.
He had to turn around. He did run the wrong route, but regardless,
dime.
He got dime. But yeah, Ravens best team in the AFC for me. I got them at 3.
Dill, at number 3, give me the Dallas Cowboys. Not to add too much of what you added on, Dill, but that defense playing at a high level. And like you said earlier, we agreed on it. Dak is playing at an MVP level. If Dak just continues, Tony Pollard and the company can run the ball. CeeDee Lamb been a top 5 receiver all season long. They stay at it, Dill. This Dallas team definitely a championship contender.
At number 4, we'll go back to the NFC. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. I had to drop them a little just because they've lost 2 in a row now, and the defense is really struggling, especially the middle of the field. Don't want to reiterate everything we just talked about, but I think offensively they will be fine. I think Jalen Hurts will get the boys going. I think A.J. Brown, will be playing better. They got Dallas Goedert back, so I think they'll be fine offensively. It's defensively. We'll see. I want to see how they play this weekend against Seattle on the road. But other than that, if they could clean their defense up, they're still a top 5 team. Not going to worry. They are 10-3. Give me the Eagles at 4.
So number 4, give me the Philadelphia Eagles. The only thing that concerns me from this team is moving forward. It's just a secondary. The front 7 is gonna get the pressure, especially when they're healthy. Can they fix whatever's wrong with that secondary? Maybe Shaquille Leonard, maybe in a couple more weeks, could solidify the middle of the defense a little better. But for now, Dill, I'm not too worried about the offense. I love Swift, the addition with Swift. Devontae Smith, he's been stepping up as of late. A.J. Brown, he's been doing it all season long. Dallas Goedert returned, so the offense is going to be complete moving forward. It's just can that defense button it up, especially in the secondary.
At number 5, I know this might turn some heads, but I got the Miami Dolphins. I know they lost. I know they still haven't beaten above 500 team, but I just think offensively, this team, when they get going, they're a very hard team to beat. I know Tennessee just beat them, but Tennessee's a scrappy team, especially when they're big underdogs like that. So good spot on analysis for you last show, taking the points. But I just like this Miami team. I think defensively, they've been getting pressured. Jalen Ramsey has been a big help since coming back. They just have to do better at closing games, I think. But other than that, I do like Tua. He didn't play the best game, but offensively, I think this is a very hard team to beat. And I don't think a lot of teams ahead of them or even below them can compete with them in a track meet head to head offensively. So in a shootout. So I got Miami at 5. I'm not going to overreact to a 1-point loss at home against Mike Vrabel. So I'm going to take Miami at number 5.
Still at number 5, I couldn't move them down. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. I know they lost 2 straight, 2 questionable late games. One was definitely a pass interference. I'm not going to front. Kadarius Toney, you was offside, my boy. So, you was offside. It just happens. Travis Kelce almost pulled off one of the greatest plays we ever seen in our lifetimes, Dill. It just happened to get called back. I still got faith in Andy Reid. Patrick Mahomes still the best quarterback in football. I understand the numbers don't look at it, but at the end of the day, when you have your wide receivers leading the NFL in drops, that will happen. So it's just Isaiah Pacheco needs to get back healthy. The defense been fine all season, been a top 10 defense. First time Patrick Mahomes had a top 10 defense, by the way. Give me the Chiefs at number 5.
At number 6 for me, I know they lost on the road, but I still like this team, Detroit Lions, at number 6. This team could score with anyone. They're still ranked in the top 10 in scoring. It's just capitalizing. They remind me of the Saints a little bit, where they drive the ball, and then when they get into the red zone, they kind of fall flat on their face. They rank 24th in the league in red zone efficiency. I mean, that's just not good. They need to improve in the red zone. I think defensively they've struggled, and Jared Goff has regressed too this past month. He doesn't play good in the cold at all. They need a home game for the playoffs. If they're going to make the playoffs, they need a home game for the playoffs if they want to advance. I think Dan Campbell, after being a little inconsistent in the month of November, I think he's going to get the boys playing. He said he needs to do a better job, and I believe him. I think the emergence of Jahmyr Gibbs, he's been better as well these past few weeks. So I think they're going to be fine. I think they just need to clean up a few things, and I think they'll be just fine. So give me the Detroit Lions at number 6.
Dill, at number 6, you're going to be shocked by this, but I'm going to be honest. I was a little surprised by it myself, but Dill, the tape is the tape. Give me the Cleveland Browns at number 6. Still got one of the best defensive football with Joe Flacco, Dill. That's the real thing. I'm shocked at what Joe Flacco is able to do. And to be honest, I know this might sound crazy, but this might be the best quarterback play Cleveland's been getting all season long. Let's just be honest, still. Back-to-back games over 250. Joe Flacco, if he's not turning the ball over, the defense is going to keep you in games. The running game is there. They got some weapons. David Njoku had a huge game. Amari Cooper is still one of the best route runners in football. Dill, I understand it sounds a little crazy, Dill, but I'm starting to like this Joe Flacco-led Cleveland Browns team. Give me the Cleveland Browns at number 6, and I think they're going to be solidified there.
At number 7 for me, I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs. I had to drop them one more. It's unfortunate. I agree. I want to talk about the call real quick. I don't think they should call it right then and there and let the boys play. To be honest, I don't think there should be a penalty within the last 2 minutes of the game. Just like how in NHL, you know how they just let the boys play and they settle it themselves. Last 2 minutes, put the whistles away, let the boys play. Because if we really want to be stricklers, there's a hold every play on the line. If I'm being petty, yes, he was offsides.
He was
offsides. So, and I don't like how Patrick Mahomes is now being a crybaby about it, because you got that same call, not the same call, but you got a very crucial call in the Super Bowl.
So, and that wasn't a hold.
And it was a hold.
I'm going to stand on it.
He even admitted. Bradbury even admitted it. But regardless, I mean, you don't call that there. You don't, especially the Super Bowl, you don't put the game in the ref's hands, and the same thing there. I don't think it should have been called. Was it a offsides? Yes. Was it a pass interference or a hold? Yes. But you don't call it there. So
and at the end of the day, Dill, I agree with you. Just because Buffalo had a minute 20 left. Yeah. That's Josh Allen. Let him get on the field. That's what we want to see. You remember the AFC Championship game 3 years ago?
Exactly.
I just they gotta have that in the back of their mind. I understand. Yeah, you do the right. It was the right call on the field. People, I understand that. But at the end of the day, you gotta be media trained. What's gonna be more exciting? Josh
And
Allen on a possible game-winning drive after just seeing one of the most electric plays in the past few years.
yeah, no, it was an amazing play, and that's the thing, and for it to be called back now, it burns. I feel you, but you need better sportsmanship. Even if you want to say it was an awful call, don't say it in front of Josh Allen. Don't diminish what they just accomplished to try to make yourself feel better. So I thought it was a little icky from Patrick Mahomes. But offensively, they need to perform better. They shouldn't even be in that position, in my opinion. So offensively, I think MVS, Kadarius Toney, he's cost them 2 games now. I hate to be that guy where to single out a single individual, but he's cost them opening day and last week. So it's very unfortunate. I think they'll be fine. They're going to get into the playoffs, but what we're going to see now, we're going to see how real good Patrick Mahomes is in the playoffs, because he's going to go on the road. Let's see if he can win away from Arrowhead. But defensively, I think they're fine. I think offensively, they need to be better, especially out of the gate. They have fucking the best quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. There's no reason this offense should be performing this low. So
they do lead the NFL in drops. That's the only thing I could come up with.
Yeah.
At number 7, Dale, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars. Travis Lawrence ankle looked fine. Only thing that concerns me, ETN hasn't been the dog he's been the first 8 weeks of the season. Hasn't really been putting up those numbers. I like the emergence of Evan Ingram. Trevor Really's been playing better of it late. Sucks that Christian Kirk is out for the season. I think they will miss him a lot. But Dill, main concern to me is that defense. Can Dougie P clean it up before playoff time? Hopefully they do, because I love this Jacksonville team. Honestly, I like Trevor Lawrence. I like the fact that he bounced right back after the ankle looked bad just a week ago. He played fine. I think the ankle won't be an issue moving forward, but that defense needs to clean up. I understand Josh Allen's like top 3, top 4 in sacks, but the guys around him got to step it up. He's doing a great job. Give me Jacksonville at number 7.
At number 8 for me, give me the Cleveland Browns, 8-5. I mean, through all this, you got to give Kevin Stefanski his flowers as well, because through all the turmoil offensively, even Myles Garrett getting hurt and some of the defense being banged up, this team is in prime condition to make the playoffs, sitting at 8-5. And, we didn't really think of Cleveland as a big passing attack, but man, Joe Flacco coming off the streets with a fresh arm, man. He's really given this team a bump. At least 250 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns the last 2 games. I mean, shout out Joe Flacco, man. I mean, I love to see it. He throws one of the nicest balls. He's getting David Njoku into it. Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore has come on as well. And this defense, the way this defense is already lined up, they're going to keep you in every game. So, I mean, I can't be surprised. I love this Cleveland Brown team. I've loved them since the start of the season. I had them going all the way to the Super Bowl. They're probably not going to win the division, because I think the Ravens are far better. But I do think this team will make the playoffs. And shout out Joe Flacco, man. I think he needs his fire. And Kevin Stefanski, what he's doing with this team, it shouldn't go unnoticed.
Dill, I agree. Dill, at number 8, I wanted to put this team higher, Dill, but main thing, give me the Miami Dolphins at number 8. They yet to beat a team above 500. And then Dill, it's not that you lost, it's how you lost. You lost a game up by 14 at home to a rookie quarterback with less than 4.5 minutes left. That's just flat out unacceptable, Dill. That's the main reason they're at number 8. Give me the Dolphins at number 8. The offense, I'm not worried about it. I hope Tyreek Hill I think he'll be just fine. Marie Holmster, the rookie, Ikane, is back as well. I think the offense will be fine. The defense has been much better ever since Jalen Ramsey has returned. It's just still, me and you we on the same page. They gotta be somebody above 500 now. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You just lost to Will Levis in Tennessee at home, up by 14 with less than 5 minutes to go. That's just unacceptable.
At number 9, give me the Buffalo Bills. They're circling the wagon. Huge win on the road against Kansas City last week. And, we talked about all the penalties and this, that, and the third, but we can't take away what the Bills went into Arrowhead and did. big win. They're right in the thick of things. They're in the hunt. And yeah, I mean, I know they had a kind of a rough November lose in 3 of 4, but I like what Josh Allen is doing. He's playing that superhero football, putting the team on his back. And I think the emergence of Dalton Kincaid has really, what a fucking pickup this kid was in the first round. So, Dawson Knox is coming back from injury reserve soon. So now they're going to be in like a 2 tight end set. I mean,
he was back last week, Dill. He just came back last week. So
him being targeted, you got a 2 tight end set. I think it's just going to help this offense. And can I say, when Buffalo won, you saw the sigh of relief and just the expression coming off Sean McDermott. I guarantee if they would have lost that game, he was done. I think he was coaching for his job. And I think a lot of people in that building are coaching for their job, to be honest. But I got the Bills at 9, and I do think they squeak into the playoffs, kid.
Still, at number 9, give me the Detroit Lions. I had to drop the Lions still. It's like I just said. It's not that you lost. It's how you lost. Still, you got flat out dominated by the Chicago Bears at Soldier Field. I understand. Honestly, I don't understand. I don't give a fuck that it's cold. I don't give a fuck that it's outdoors. Jared Goff, you got to go up and show out. This is a divisional game. You have a chance.
Can't play in the cold.
Dill, you have a chance at the 1 seed. Now that might be out the picture.
That's
but
out the window.
It was live. The Detroit Lions were live for the 1 seed. So Jared Goff, past 4 weeks, you regress. You're not the same guy the first 8 weeks of the season. And guess what? It's just not him, Dill. It's the defense as well. This defense is dropping fast. I don't know what it is. That secondary looked lackluster. I don't know. It's just got to improve defensively, and Jared Goff got to clean it up. We saw him have a great game 2 weeks ago. Week before that, so a couple turnovers, and then a couple turnovers this week, Dill. So he just got to clean it up. I still like this Lions team, Dill, but Jared Goff needs to clean it up, and the defensive side got to clean it up.
Last one for me, sitting at number 10. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars. Had to drop them down. Had to keep them in the top 10 just because Houston lost as well, and they do own the tiebreaker. I put Houston at 11. But, honestly, Trevor Lawrence didn't look hurt as I thought he would. I thought the ankle looked pretty good. I thought, especially late in the game, they had that little fight towards the end. But, I just don't really know what can improve offensively. They score points. It's defensively. They are not good, especially on the road. They worry me defensively. So I think they need to clean some things up. I think they are good on third down, which isn't really heard of nowadays. They from week 5 on, they ranked 15th in the league, completing 40% of their third down drives. So they're doing it on third down, and they're scoring points, but their defense can't get off the field. So I think they'll be all right. They are 8-5. They're a game in front of Houston and Indianapolis, but I do worry about Jacksonville defensively, and I had to drop them 2 spots from 8 to 10. So yeah, that rounds out my top 10, kid. What do you got at 10?
Still, new number 10. Give me the Buffalo Bills. I had to put them just at 10. You beat a top 5 team, in my opinion, in Kansas City Chiefs. I understand the controversial call, but you did walk out with a victory. I agree with you, though. Josh McDermott is definitely coaching for his life. And to be honest, I think it's only up from here for the Buffalo Bills. I think the toughest part of the schedule has been through. They got the Cowboys in a couple of weeks up in Buffalo. That one will be interesting, though, but I give Buffalo, like you said earlier, I give Buffalo a shot to make the playoffs still. Give me the Buffalo Bills at number 10. And real quick, Von Miller started to pop off the screen.
Yeah,
people.
It was good to see him play well the other week. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought he was just gonna have an average year.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me having them at 10.
Oh, no, not that. Just Von Miller. I just didn't expect him to be playing. His name was being called. That's how you know he was being an impact player. But yeah, I do think they are trending in the right direction. Remember 2 weeks ago or a week ago when I put him in the top 10, you're like, I don't know. Before they beat the Chiefs, they were 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. They're down to 15-1. Big win. I think if you wanted to jump on them for a future to win the playoffs, because I do think this is a team you don't want to play in the playoffs, a
Facts.
team that has nothing to lose and a team that offensively has a lot to show you on the field. I just think it's going to cause a lot of defenses a lot of problems. So I don't think the Bills are a team anyone wants to play in the playoffs. But Elvis, thank you so much for our top 10. Not too much differences, maybe on the lower end, but before we get to Thursday Night Football, quick word from our sponsor. We are brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. So don't wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We favor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives. Whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry on a Thursday night watching Raiders Chargers, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Elvis, let's get to this shit show of a game on Thursday night. We will go out to lovely Las Vegas. The Raiders are hosting the Chargers. Raiders -3 at home, -162 on the money line, +136 on the buyback. Chargers were 3.5-point favorites on the look ahead. Obviously, Justin Herbert goes down, broke a finger on his throwing hand. He's had surgery. He's out for the season. The line's totally flipped now. Raiders are the favorite. We'll start with the side. You trust the Raiders laying 3 at home?
Still, to be honest, I think it's the right side just because the Chargers have been a bad team all year with Justin Herbert. So what do you expect from the kid? Let's just be real, Dill. But, seeing how bad this offense struggled last week at home against Minnesota. I understand Minnesota defense has been, pretty good since, week 10 on. Brian Flores is a great defensive mind, Dill, but that offense struggled last week. If you're telling me Jimmy G is gonna go out there and start the game, I'm gonna lay the -3. If I do think the Raiders on the right side to lay -160 on the money line, -162 via DraftKings, that's a little too much for me, Dill. But if you want people lay the 3, I think it's the right side. I think the offense not will, but they have to go out there and score points. If not, I think O'Connell, you won't have a quarterback job anymore. I think Jimmy G definitely gets in the game somehow, some way, if points ain't put up in the first half. Still, the defense on the Chargers is good, and the Los Angeles Raiders defense has been great ever since Antonio Pierce took over.
Yeah, I mean, as for the side, I wouldn't. I agree. I do think the Raiders are the right side, but I wouldn't lay the 3. They've dropped 3 in a row right now. The offense is really struggling with Aiden O'Connell. Right, they scored 0 points last week in a dome.
I don't know how Jimmy G ain't in the convo and starting this week. Like it just don't make sense to me. Ain't Tom co-owner? Yo, Tom, give your opinion. Jimmy G will at least put up 10 points last week with a pick. At least 10 points. He got Devontae Adams on the field, goddammit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the injury report. He's not injured, so I don't know.
He's the backup. He's when Antonio Pierce took the job, his first thing was O'Connell got promoted to starting quarterback.
Well, I heard the reason that is just because I also heard that the players like Aiden O'Connell better, if I'm being honest. That's what I heard as well.
No, I'm not disagreeing. All I'm saying is Jimmy G is putting up points. That's all I'm saying. It's just a flat out who's gonna put up more points this tomorrow night, Jimmy G or O'Connell.
And don't be stubborn, Antonio Pierce. Don't do it based off your pride.
I did this week one. We won our first week. All right, it's cool, but Jimmy G's putting up points.
Yeah, no. The guy's been to a Super Bowl and was a throw away from winning the Super Bowl. Yeah. So no, I agree. I think maybe he does work his way in, but I do think. Honestly, I would stay away from this side. You don't really know what's going to happen. If anything, if it does get to 3.5 plus 3.5, I know Justin Herbert's out, but at least the Chargers are able to put up some points. And I trust Kellen Moore. I do think offensively, they could put up some points. So yeah, I would. It's a wait and see. If it does get to 3.5, which I don't know it will, which I don't think it will, excuse me, then I would take the Chargers. But yeah, just gonna stay away. As for the under, it's sitting at 34.5, one of the lowest totals. Reminds me of a Jet game. You gotta go under, right?
Still, give me the under 34 and
Yeah.
a half as my official play. We saw this Las Vegas Raiders team put up 0 last week, against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I'm be honest, I think Chargers defense might be a little better than Minnesota. If I'm just being frank, Still, I just don't see it. If Jimmy G was out there, maybe, but what O'Connell being out there, and then the rookie, what's his name? I don't even know his name.
For who?
Chargers. What's his name? Stick.
Yeah, Stick. What's his name?
My boy Stick. So none against the kid. He might go out there and light the Raiders defense up. But what I've been seeing the last 4 weeks since Antonio Pierce took over, nobody's lighting that defense up. So I think the under's the right side. And to be honest, I think this number is too high. I think it has to be what was the Patriots Steelers last week? 30.5? 31.5?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was something low.
I think this has to be around 30, 31.5.
Wow.
I just don't see it. Still, they put up 0 last. It's not like they put up, 14, 10. They put up 0 last week. If they put up 6? That's a dub.
Yeah, last 5 Raider games, 3-0, 31-17, 20-13. That got under, and that was against the Dolphins. 16-12 against the Jets. That's went under, and then against the Giants, 30-6. They don't put up 30 points, so that's kind of an outlier. And on the other side, the Chargers, they lost 24-7, 6-0 to the Patriots. To Baltimore, 20-10. So we're seeing a lot of low-scoring games in a dome. I don't trust either offense right now. I think it's another low-scoring game. I do agree. I think the under is a smart play here, especially if you could get 34.5. I do see 34s out there, but DK does have 34.5. So get that hook if you can. Let's go to player props. I know not a lot to pick from. You got some wide receivers. You got maybe Austin Eckler if you want to take advantage of him. But anything in the player prop market that you like?
Still, to be honest, I have a feeling Davante Adams over 64.5 at minus 115. I understand you're like, Elvis, how, who? You know what, though? This offense is due. I'm not saying they're due for an explosion, but like you said, they did put up 30 points 4 weeks ago. Can Davante Adams catch a goal ball and take it to the house? Absolutely. Can Adam O'Connell put it there? I give him a shot too. So I'm gonna go with Davante Adams over 6. You know what? I'm staying on it. Give me Davante Adams over 64.5 receiving yards as my second official play for this game. They just got to do something offensively, and why not just try to force feed it to arguably one of the best wide receivers in the world.
First official play for me, only official play. Michael Mayer over 19.5 receiving yards, the rookie tight end for the Raiders. And Raiders, they're passing the ball at one of the highest rates in football, 60% of the number. Last 3 weeks, third highest passing rate in the league. They're throwing the hell out of the ball. Aiden O'Connell, he's averaging 36, passes a game over the last 3 games. That was against Minnesota, Miami, Kansas City. And Josh Jacobs, he also exited the game. He was hurt. And if he can't go or is limited, I think that's just going to add more fuel to the fire, and that's just going to give Aiden O'Connell more chances to throw the ball. So Michael Mayer, he played 51 of 54 offensive snaps last week. He was basically in the whole game. He had 78% of his route share, which was third on the team, and that was the highest route share since early November. He only had 1 catch for 14 yards, but he also faced the number 1 pass defense since week 9. So Chargers, they're one of 5 teams that allow 60 or more yards to tight ends per game on the season. And I just think Meyer sitting at 19.5 after closing total of over 20 the past few weeks. I think it's a good time to buy low on the rookie. So over 19.5 for Michael Meyer when the Raiders are passing at a shit ton. I like him to go over. I think he gets a couple balls and he gets over 19.5 receiving yards. Anything else on the player prop market?
I ain't gonna hold you there. The fact that we're relying on Aiden O'Connell to get these overs, little ballsy deal, but I think it's the right side.
Yeah, I know. We were talking about Jimmy G getting in there too. So
hopefully he does. He's gonna sling it. He's gonna throw a pick, but he's gonna complete some balls downfield.
But Elvis, thank you so much for that. That's the start of week 15 for us. We got Saturday games as well this week. We'll start and break them down on Thursday's show. But let's get on over to the NBA. What happened with Draymond yesterday, kid?
Dill, to be honest,
I love him.
He's a loose cannon. Not to say he's a loose cannon, but Draymond, man, you know better, bro. At the end of the day, you even said it.
He didn't intend to hit him. He didn't intend to hit him.
I believe him. No. I believe that he didn't mean to smack the shit out of him, but he definitely meant to, push him, get him out of his way, move him out of his position or something. He definitely didn't mean to smack the shit out of him. I'll tell you that, though. But at the end of the day, even Draymond said, he respected his opinion after the game and he apologized. It's the first time he ever apologized. He knew he was wrong. So I'm not going to – it's just Draymond. It just sucks that you might get suspended, not just for 5 games this time. You might get 10, 15
I think
games.
He'll get 10, yeah. I mean, they have to come down, unfortunately.
They're going to they have to. Because at the end of the day, you don't want this. This is a primetime game Thursday night against it's Golden State Phoenix. This ain't Pistons Charlotte. No disrespect, but this is TNT Tuesday night, people. So it's just like that, Dill. So I don't want to overreact with Draymond at the end of the day, bro. You know what's going on, bro. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna challenge you, but you gotta chill. You gotta chill, though.
As long as he didn't put him in a rear naked choke like he did the other bull, but
Rudy Gobert,
yeah. But I thought it was hilarious. Waking up to that was
he really
funny.
smacked this shit out of the old boy. He smacked him.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But he got a 9-game slate today. What do you got on board for us?
Yeah, we got 5 plays for tonight. Nothing too crazy. But let's start 7:30. Atlanta Hawks taking on the Toronto Raptors in Toronto. Dill, give me Atlanta. Dill, I took the +1.5. Dill, but if you want to sprinkle on the money line, by all means, +114. It got up to 2.5. People, my fault. Give me Atlanta +114 on the money line on the road. Dill, Los Angeles Lakers taking on San Antonio Spurs. Dill, Lakers lost a tough one last night with a Kyrie-less Dallas Mavericks team. Exum hit like 5 threes in the fourth. 7 in the game total. Who would have thought? Still, Spurs lost 18 out of 19, 17 out of 18, something like that. 14, 15 straight. Still, this is just not a very good team. They're young still. I understand Pop probably going through it right now, but I think the Lakers bounce back, handle business. Give me the Los Angeles Lakers -3.5 on the road. Still, this marquee matchup of the night. Indiana Pacers taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. In Milwaukee, rematch of the semifinals in the NBA in-season tournament. They'll give me the Pacers +6.5. I understand the Milwaukee Bucks probably want this game as a get-back game for losing in the semis, especially if they're at home. They're not in Vegas. But give me the Pacers +6.5. They'll just flat out. They're just a young team. I think they're gonna run. They're gonna cause fits, and defensively, if Giannis doesn't have a monster game, Dame doesn't have a monster game, I don't see Milwaukee putting up 130 plus on this team. So Pacers are going to score the points. It's going to Milwaukee put it up as well. Still, last 2 plays of the night. These are get back revenge games. Memphis taking on Houston Rockets in Houston. Give me Dylan Brooks over 12.5 points against his former team. I think he hits a couple threes, get a couple layups, a few defensive stops, get in the player's face. I think he puts on a little show tonight, Dill. Can't even front, Dill. Dylan Brooks has been having a pretty damn good season. And last play of the night, Dill, Brooklyn Nets taking on the Phoenix Suns. A win will be great, but give me Malik Bridges over 24.5 points. Y'all wanted to get rid of me. First game back in Phoenix, he's dropping 30.
Real quick, we talked about the Lakers, winning the in-season tournament, and shout out LeBron winning number 5. But my thing
Yo,
is,
That's some
nah.
respect. Nah. We're not jacking.
Why are they hanging a banner? I think they're the Lakers. If they're a poverty organization like the Charlotte Hornets, and I hate to keep bringing up the Charlotte Hornets, but
we're disrespecting them.
Yeah,
no cap.
But if they are, if they are like a bad organization, they're the fucking Los Angeles Lakers. They don't need to be putting up a banner like that. That's sad. Yeah. And I'm the biggest LeBron fan ever.
Still,
that's
sad. It's not just you. Everybody out there, bro, is the bigger picture. What does the NBA want? Did we not enjoy playoff intensity basketball in December? You like that, right? So how are you gonna try to keep that going moving forward? You're gonna hang a banner so teams that come in be like, damn. I understand. Dill, I understand. Dill, I understand.
This is bad.
No, it's not. It's good for the future of the league. So you could be like, damn, I would want an in-season tournament title. You're gonna see other teams go for that 500,000. Go for the banner, Dill. You gotta understand it's just the first one. It seems whack when you're the first one, but in 20 seasons from now, it won't be whack, Dill. I understand. You're not wrong. All the people out there, I understand where you're coming from. I don't love it. But you gotta understand from the NBA perspective is great. It's more than great that the team that actually won it is the Los Angeles Lakers. And the fact that they're gonna hang a banner for it, guess what? Every team moving forward is gonna hang a banner. It's the principle, deal. It's the bigger picture. I understand. I agree with a lot of people out there. It ain't the sexiest thing to do as the Los Angeles Lakers, but as an NBA, as a unit, as Adam Silver, you want that because it's better for the league. I personally enjoy playoff intensity in December.
I agree with that point. I do think it's better for the league. I do think it's good for the NBA. I don't disagree with that. But you're the Los Angeles Lakers.
I agree with you. You gotta understand.
But what are we gonna start doing now? Every time someone, like, say hypothetically, say the Lakers win next year, are we gonna put another banner next to the?
Dill,
do that.
I understand. Dill, I understand it. It's not.
Now, if we're the Indiana Pacers, who haven't won anything in a while or ever, now if they put it up, I get that. No, now you're bringing, but you're the Lakers.
But Dill, it's just good for the NBA. Dill.
No, but fuck the NBA. I'm talking about the Lakers.
No, I agree with, but you got to look at the bigger picture. You're doing it for the NBA, so not everybody look like. I understand, Dill. I understand, but in 10 years from now, you won't feel this way. That's what I'm trying to get to you.
And what happened with Bronny? Played his first game back, 17 minutes, 1 for 3, 4 points. I mean, didn't play that good. They lost outright as a 20-point favorite to Long Beach State. I mean,
it is what it is. First game back. At the end of the day, it was a lot of
pressure.
Are
you worried?
Absolutely not. We saw him hit a couple 3 huge threes in a McDonald's All-American game, Dale. You think I'm worried?
No. All I'm saying is it doesn't matter what happens. You're still drafting Bronny because LeBron's gonna go with.
he's like my boy Giannis Antetokounmpo's brother. Like he's just gonna sign him just Giannis in the family good.
What I hear,
Giannis happy.
I hear out there is Bryce is actually better than Bronny.
You know what it is though? Bryce built like his dad.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Bryce gonna be 6'8", 240. My man Bronny 6. Not against Bronny, but my man Bronny probably like what 6'3", 185, 190. My man
on
Bryce,
a good day.
Yeah, my man Bryce about to be like at least 6'7". He's already 6'6". He's a sophomore, junior in high school. He's already 6'6". So LeBron 6'8", 6'9". You telling me when he graduates, this kid might be 6'8", 250? Sound like baby Bron to me. Sound like Bron. Bron was 6'8", 250, 240 his rookie year. 18.
Yeah. No, very interesting, but can't wait to see what's in store for the family. But yeah, I had to get your take on the banner real quick. But that's gonna do it for this Wednesday edition of the Dream Wager. On behalf of our sponsor Viva Tequila, Elvis, myself, we'll see you guys on Saturday. We'll recap Thursday night football. We'll give you our best bets for this upcoming weekend. So make sure you guys follow along our social media, X and Instagram at The Dream Wage. You guys can find all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We go live every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday on YouTube, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Hit that like button, subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well. See you guys down the road.